Hey everyone, it's Frederick Kramer here, and in today's video I'm going to talk about the easiest method in 2025 to book 30 to 50 or potentially even more calls per month for your agency, SMMA, whatever done for your marketing business, because that could add you like 10k a month per month to your business. So I guess that's quite valuable, so let's get into that. But before we do that, my name is Frederick Kramer and I'm on a mission to revolutionize productivity by helping agency owners double, triple or quadruple the speed at which they get rich. So without further ado, let's get into that. Now, of course, which platform you actually use depends on your niche. That's something I want to say right at the beginning, right? Because if you're, for example, in the home service niche, it's not going to help you to reach out to them on Instagram or some bullshit like that. You probably know that already, but if you know that in your niche, the easiest way to contact them or to find any way of contact is their phone number, then of course cold calling is going to be the most effective way. Maybe I'm going to make a video about cold calling in the future. I didn't do that too much in the past, so I'm just going to go on with more likely cases because it's actually not that many niches where cold calling is the easiest way to contact people. But if that is the case, then definitely do cold calling, because the barrier of entry with cold calling is so incredibly high because people find it so uncomfortable to do that. Or like, I think like Sam often used to say, tell me someone who likes to do cold calls and I will, no, show me someone who likes to do cold calls and I will show you a psychopath, something like that. So that, just to get that out of the way. Now, the next thing is, today, email has become really hard because of deliverability and spam filters and everything, and everybody like has like a poll on everything and reaches out to everyone. Then Instagram doesn't work that well anymore, because if you reach out to people, you land in like the requests folder, and I don't know, whatever platforms there are. Same thing probably on like Facebook or something. I honestly don't even know people that use Facebook. So, right. So if it's really easy for some reason to find people's emails, then you'll probably do email. But there are a lot of niches, especially like in the niches that usually like SMMAs have, where you can use LinkedIn. And of course, you probably know LinkedIn and you're probably using that. But there are a lot of things that you might keep an eye on and that you might be focused on or worried about, because LinkedIn is extremely sensitive to a lot of things in terms of your behavior, as you might probably know, because it is nowadays restricting a lot of accounts and you don't even know why, and you can't really get them back, and it's really, really hard to do that. And you also don't really know like how to actually convert like optimally, how to do the optimal volume, how to do everything. So that's something I want to cover in this video. It's going to be mainly about LinkedIn. And like I said, if you have cold calling as the most effective way, and you figure that out by realizing that it's incredibly easy to find a lot of phone numbers in your niche where you can just contact the people, or that it's actually email, where I honestly don't know that many niches where it's actually the case with email, I'm going to show you how to do it with LinkedIn. So, most important thing on LinkedIn is LinkedIn only wants you to have one account, and you can have multiple accounts, and later it's going to be obvious why it's like way better if you have multiple accounts. But what I used to do is I wanted to have multiple accounts, so I just created like, I used to do this on Instagram and on LinkedIn. On Instagram it worked perfectly fine, and on LinkedIn, I'm going to tell you. So I created 5 accounts, all showing like me as a person, one being like, this is the main account, and all the others being like, this is like my account, main account is this one, right? Did the same on LinkedIn, and one day later, all of them, like literally all of my LinkedIn accounts that I've ever created got restricted, and I haven't gotten them back until today, right? I'm probably never going to be able to actually create a LinkedIn account again, unless I get LinkedIn to actually delete all of the accounts and just start over all again, right? But you need to be incredibly careful there. And if you're getting started, I would recommend you to have one account for yourself and one account for like from like another person, like friend or family, that don't use LinkedIn regularly or not at all, and maybe don't even have an account. So you can just ask them to create an account, and then you do what an agency owner will do if he or she will be hiring setters, right? Because if you have an appointment setter, then the setter has like an own account where they are shown as the person, and they also have the same branding, and it's saying like partner at whatever media, whatever your company is being called. And then you basically just use this account as well to send the people messages, right? And you do the exact same things with the accounts of other people, and you just pretend to be them as a person, because if LinkedIn recognizes that you're trying to fake being yourself with a second account, it's just going to restrict that. So you need to do that with another account. That's really important because you might know this already, but if you haven't, then chances are you can't use LinkedIn at all. And that's quite shit, of course. So that's that. And of course, before you get started, you want to warm up your LinkedIn accounts, because when you just get started right away and start sending like connection requests and everything, then LinkedIn is not going to like that way too much, right? So that's obviously a bit stupid and you don't want to do that. So instead, you want to just use LinkedIn for like 15 minutes a day and just warm the account up. Don't send like incredible, like maybe just like one connection request a day or something, not much more. Just use the account like really like casually, just is as if you were like the average LinkedIn user. And that doesn't even like sound, maybe it sounds like a waste of time, but you can just use the account and check out like profiles from other people in your niche, what they're doing. You might study their offers, see what's working there, study your niche, find some latent conditions, so some like what are their goals, desires, fears, pain points, emotions, whatever, like all these things, right? And you can also just like talk to people, comment like on their posts and something, and LinkedIn is just going to think that you're like the averagest user of the averagest user on the platform, and it's not going to do anything, right? And just do that for like 7 days, and then you're pretty much good to go with actually like having a warmed up account. What's also helping incredibly well is if you just do like a minimal amount of content, just like maybe like 2 shorts or reels or however they are being called on LinkedIn per week, because first of all, you're going to be active on the platform just because you need to upload the content, but also because people are interacting with your profile and it just seems like you're a normal person making content. And if you're just doing this for the delivery's sake, the content obviously doesn't even need to be very good, right? You can do like, I don't know, outreach has become even really hard, but nobody knows what actually matters. Here's what matters: the actual messaging or some shit like that, right? I saw a post like that yesterday on LinkedIn when I was warming up the account. But so that's something that you can do, and it's also going to help. That also works really well on Instagram if you do that on Instagram. But just because people are giving you like a lot more impressions, they follow you back more, means you land in the main like request folder and not in the other one. And it's not even like requests, it's just like straight their DMs, and you get like way more replies. I had like 30% positive reply rate or something using that method, so that's quite good, I'd say. And yeah, as soon as you have that, the week is over and you now have an account. It's fully branded. You don't even need to have an info section for a setter account, by the way. You just need to have like partner at your company, a banner that's showing like your company. In case you have like some case studies or something, just say like, I don't know, like 400 med spas scaled or something, right? And then you just put that there. Maybe even like I don't know, like $400,000 entire revenue added or something. You might also say that. Just put that there, but don't do this like, I help med spas add another 20. I don't even know what med spas see like their revenue in, like 20 clients, whatever, per month. Just do like really simple. And if you don't have case studies, you might as well just say like founder at and then your company, right? So just do it really simple. And you also want to have like this like in focus section where you can just add like a few links about like maybe some free value in case you have, or just some case study YouTube videos, and of course just another link where people can like straight book a call with you, of course. Or if you have like a free school community, like anything, you can just put that there. Just come up with like 3 things that you can put there. In my case, I just put like some YouTube videos there, and as soon as you have that and everything's ready to go, you can actually start sending connection requests. In case you don't know LinkedIn, really quickly, connection requests are basically as if like all profiles are like private Instagram profiles, and you need to follow them, and then they need to follow you back before you can actually engage with their content, right? So just really quick. And you can only send 100 connection requests per week, usually on LinkedIn, if you just use the free version. And you should do that for like the first like 1 to 2 months, because if you start paying for something and then you realize it doesn't work, then you just lost money, right? So just start like very simply, and when you see, okay, this is booking me calls, maybe you even close like a couple of clients from there, then you can start like seriously reinvesting in like LinkedIn Premium and some other tools that are also existing, right? And that's just going to make it easier. But for the beginning, just use the normal version, and you'll have a connection limit of 100 requests per week, right? And Usually the week, of course, has 7 days, but you don't want to do that on the weekend because it's converting like way less on the weekend as compared to like the normal week. So you just send 20 of them per day eventually. But when you get started, you want to take like 1 to 2 weeks to get to 20, right? You don't just want to start at like day 8 with 20 immediately. You maybe want to start with like 5, then you do 6, then you do 7, then you do 9, then you do 10, then you do 12. I don't know, like just to take like 7 or 8 like weekdays, like days from Monday through Friday. Just take like 7 or 8 of these days to get to 20, and you can start with like 5 or 6. And I don't know how exactly you would space that, but you get the point, right? And then you're really like ready to go. And then another thing on LinkedIn is, of course, like what is really effective and got me to that like 30% positive reply rate, I think it was like 32 that I talked about, was actually sending like voice notes as opener messages. But I need to tell you, this wasn't on LinkedIn, but it was on Instagram. So maybe people on LinkedIn for some reason behave differently when they get a voice note, but I would assume if it's the same niche and it's just humans that are curious to see what I'm actually talking about there, and it's a really short message, that it's working really well on LinkedIn as well. Just as a disclaimer, I didn't yet actually do that on LinkedIn specifically, so it might be slightly different, right? Same goes with videos, but of course it's a bit more, like it takes more effort to just make a video, and there's more you can do wrong when recording a video. And if you can apparently already get like 30% positive reply rate with just voice notes, then I don't really get the point of making a video, honestly. But yeah, depends on your niche, of course, and the attention span and everything. But I will say like standard like agency owner niches like med spas, like home service companies, YouTubers. Well, I think you like coaches, for example, have maybe a bit lower attention spans, but they're like chill people, so it's easier to create the messaging than for like some like, I don't know, like lawyers that are like way older than you and don't really resonate with that, or maybe like realtors. But realtors are also quite chill, but they're like a bit more like serious or like formal, if you get what I mean, right? But you just try like that. And what I wanted to say, if you don't do that, but you use the setter account, you can't do that, right? Because you can't send them like a voice note saying like, hello, this is Frederick, and the account is being called, I don't know what, like Martin, whatever, like last name. And they're like, no, you're not Frederick, you're Martin. What the fuck? What's going on here? Or like, I pretend to be Martin. I'm saying like, hey, everyone, it's Martin here or something. And then they're like, oh yeah, cool, that's Martin. And then they schedule a call with me or like see the video of me. And I sound exactly like the voice note from Martin. Just use text messages. But when you do that, you need to have some spin tags. Maybe you don't know what spin tags is. I'm going to quickly explain. So you just have different versions of the text that say the exact same, but you use like synonyms. So for example, you might say, how was your day? How are you doing? What's up? What's good? Of course, it's like different like formality levels that I've just used, but there are like a lot of different ways to express the same thing. You can use the website. I don't know what's exactly what's called, but just use like Google like synonym website or something, and then it's like really easy. Like you can just like, I don't know, like I'm going to have to add another 30K per month with my system, using my system, through my system, you know, like buy my system, like not to actually buy, but you get what I mean, right? So you just want to use like different versions, because if you don't do that, then LinkedIn is really sensitive to realizing that like you just spamming people essentially. Not technically spamming, because of course you can help them and you have an offer and everything, but LinkedIn sees that as spam because there were a lot of people that actually did spam on LinkedIn. That's why it's so incredibly sensitive. And yeah, just use like 3 to 5 versions or something of that to make it a bit easier. And of course, then you just want to like systematically iterate and get better each time. But that's basically it for LinkedIn. Everything that I know right now. Maybe I learn new things when I'm trying that and actually starting to book appointments. That's just everything that I know about for right now. And this should already save you like a lot of headaches, because it cost me like 2-3 months of headaches, because I had to use like other platforms because I was restricted on LinkedIn and didn't know what to do. So yeah, that's quite shit, but I hope it can help you. If you have, for example, a restricted LinkedIn account, but you're in a niche that's really good on LinkedIn. And by the way, on LinkedIn, you also find like way better leads than on, for example, Instagram or something, if you have the right niche, right? So you don't need to search through like randoms, like you go through their following page and then they follow like their entire fucking family, and you don't even, it's really confusing. It saves you a lot of energy. So yeah, that's basically how it works. By the way, if you want to scale an agency, but at the end of each day you feel like you could have done 10 times more, there's a link in the description where you can check out how we can help you beyond these videos. It doesn't matter to me really if you click that or not. What matters to me is just that your time's being saved, so I just wanted to leave that door open. Really appreciate you watching this video, genuinely, because if you do these actions, it's potentially going to save you a ton of time if you niche on LinkedIn. Have a nice day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.